Welcome back to the super simple Paintjob show. In this video I will paint a dragon from Mantic Games for my Vasilia army for Kings of War. You can use this model for the old world as well if you so desire. I assembled the dragon almost 4 years ago and now it is finally time to put some paint on. Mantic painted the dragon in blue, but I think that paint scheme looks kind of boring. I also don't want to use red because the heraldry of my army is red and beige. But a dragon is supposed to be a centerpiece of the army, so I wanted to stand out from the rest. And using the main colors of the army on the dragon as well would contradict that goal. So if I can't use red, and I don't like blue, the only real choice is green. So let's get to it. Just like the Phoenix, I filled all gaps with Plasto from Revel and used a white base coat. I started with bone white for the breast and belly, or the general underside of the dragon. I also painted the horns, claws, teeth and spikes in the same color. My main color selection consists of 4 different greens: Escorpean green, flat green, dark green and Sons of Horus green. For the scales and skin, I apply a thinned down layer of dark green from Vallejo game color. The ridge on the back is painted in Sons of Horus green from Citadel. For the wings, I decided to use 2 different colors. I will use flat green from Vallejo model color on the outside and Escorpean green from Vallejo game color on the inside. The miniature is called High Paladin on Dragon, so there should be a rider for the dragon. Unfortunately, I don't know where I put him and the saddle. But the belt is on the dragon, so I used Dust Bowl from Tooth and Coats to paint it. So far, the dragon looks flat and almost as boring as a product photo from Mantic Games. Time to change that. With flat green, I will paint random scales all over the dragon. I repeat the same process with Sons of Horus green. And again with Scurvy green from Vallejo Game Color. And again, this time for the last time, with Escorpean as green. We have an interesting looking mix of different greens on the scales. Time for wash magic. I have 3 washes available for green: Coelia Greenshade, Biel-Tan green and Athonian Camoshade. I start with Coelia Greenshade, which is a bluish green, and apply it to the ridge. Then I follow up with Biel-Tan green for the wings. I wanted to use Athonian Camoshade for the scales, but as soon as I applied it I wasn't happy with the look. So I wiped it off and switched to Coelia Greenshade. The wash dried overnight, and now it is time to ruin everything with a dry brush. First I wanted to dry brush with Escorpean as green, but that barely made a visible difference, so I switched to white. Since the dry brush was a little bit too much, I decided to tone it down a bit and carefully apply a very thin layer of Biel-Tan green. Now it is time for bone white again. Unfortunately I realized that my bone white is empty and it is Sunday, so I can't get a new bottle. But I'm determined to finish the dragon today, so I switched to Stonewall Grey from Vallejo game color as a replacement and repainted everything I painted bone white before. I washed it with Nuln oil and wasn't happy. Then I tried Serphim Sepia and wasn't happy. I switched to Athonian Camoshade and it looked good at first, but after drying it looked really bad. And then I decided to go with Elf Flesh followed by a wash of Seraphim Sepia, just like I did with the Phoenix. If I had used my brain for 5 seconds at the beginning of this process, I would have done this immediately. Last step are the eyes and the tongue. First I painted the eyes in bloody red. Next I draw a thin line of black in the center of the eye, and in the last step I add a layer of gloss varnish to make the eyes shine. The tongue is painted in pink. And here is the final result. What do you think of this dragon? Would you have done something different? Let me know in the comments below. And now I will start the search for the High Paladin and his saddle. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.